It don't mean a thing if you ain't got six rings. Terrible town, terrible town, terrible town, terrible town.
Super Bowl's in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Our seasons are over. Ben got one more game.
Been over.
So, yeah. So, what we're going to talk about here, this is our Steelers episode of Here We Skol. We're just going to touch a little bit on the recap of the season. Just touch on some things that we know that I thought pointed out throughout the season. I just saw there. And then go into what I hope are some expectations, or what I have as expectations for the upcoming offseason. Granted, Super Bowl hasn't happened yet, so you also have to consider there's been no combine. There's free agency hasn't hit. A lot of different factors coming in here. Bless you.
Thank you.
A lot of different factors and things like that are coming into play that are really still up in the air. But based on where it's at right now, this is where we're going to go with. But we can touch base on it when we do our preseason episode or something there when the season starts and what the teams look like at that point. Because before filming, we thought Harbaugh was going to be the coach of the Vikings, and all of a sudden,
it's O'Connell.
That ain't going to happen.
Looks like it's O'Connell already.
Yeah, so
that happened all in the last 20 minutes.
Oh
yeah, absolutely. My bad. Bless you.
Hallelujah in my hand. Anyway, that's aloe too. Oh, love that.
That's that Vicks. Yeah, hell yeah.
Wipe that on my face and just
open your nose.
I can breathe, right? I can breathe. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about first, just some things that I thought about for the Steelers season, this past season. The first thing I want to touch on is beginning of the season, we did our picks.
Yep.
I did pick the Steelers to go 9-8 and just missed the wild card. I was a little off on that. We went 8-8-1. Of course, Tomlin would be the one coach. You have a 17-game season and still figure out how to go 8-8.
Hey, he had to do it. He loves that number.
But that is not a losing season. That's
Never.
Number 15. Set the record for that now. For head coach beginning his tenure without a sub 500 season.
Oh, wow.
Mark on Tomlin. Anyway, so non-losing season for Tomlin. Again, also for Ben, too. His entire 18-season career, not a losing season for him as well either.
Yeah, but that's all over with. Ben's gone.
Ben, we love you. Thank you for everything, man. You definitely everything that you said and everything. I'm just going to be repeating everyone else there in this aspect of you personified the Steeler way. You were what the Steelers needed at that time in a quarterback in regards to, just put everything on the field, left everything on the field, gave 100%. Yeah, you had your issues. You're a young guy. I get it. I joked about it a lot about it in the past. That you were, a kinky guy, like a rub, whatever, all those out. But you know what? You grew from that, and you showed the Steelers that you are the Hall of Fame quarterback that you're going to be, and that I know you're going to be. And I look forward to going to Canton and actually making the effort to go and see you and shine in the Hall of Fame. Great season, Big Ben. Love you, man. Oh, thank you for all those years, and I just look forward to seeing what's going to be coming for future. Anyway, so those are 2 points there. I mentioned it in our end of the season awards. Thank you to the Colts for gifting Big Ben one more game for the season.
Hey, yeah, definitely.
That was just a beautiful thing. He his last game of the season, regular season, and did it justifiably in the comeback win against the Ravens. What other team? You know what I mean? What other team would you want to go out if the season was going to go out that way and not make the playoffs, but still with a comeback win over your number one rival?
All right.
In comparison to the other division, I mean, you dominated in Ohio. You killed Cincinnati, killed Cleveland during your tenure. And it was just Baltimore that always seemed to be just like, man, you broke your nose. They try to take you out every single time. And it's just like what some of the Ravens said for Ben. It wasn't so much that he brought out the best in his teammates. He brought out the best in his opponents as well, too, because the opponents wanted to do that much. They wanted to get that interception on him. They wanted to get that sack fumble and all those things on him. And, it just made hell of a games. He always brought out the best in everything. And that's, again, it's just end of an era. and on that there too. So we'll again just touch more on that there. I'm definitely riding the Big Ben train here on this one, or should I say his party bus? All right,
It's a retirement bus.
right. Then we got T.J. Watt. Hell of a season. Tied the record for most sacks in the year, missing 2.5, almost 3 games. In that part there as well too. I think T.J. Watt has established himself as one of the best defensive players of this era.
Agreed.
I mean, he's there. I think he's going to be. Him and Aaron Donald might be trading off some.
Yeah, he definitely put himself in the
player
Hall
of the years.
Yeah, he definitely put himself in the Hall of Fame conversation at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Once you hit the record books at that point, you're pretty much there. And he's had amazing numbers. As long as he plays another 2-3 years, I don't think he's going to have any problem getting it into Canton.
Oh, yeah. With the past 3 seasons, he's had 4 seasons, over 15 sacks.
Yeah, and with the 20, so that means he's getting close to that 100.
He's getting better and better and better. Like, yeah, who knows? Career-wise, he may even break the record.
Yeah, once you hit that triple digits, you're almost a shoo-in at that point. So
yeah, I mean, just woof.
So yeah, I think he'll be a first ballot at this point already.
Yeah, and then just the combo of him and Cam Hayward.
And he has a name. Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's true.
So,
all right, the next thing that I gotta speak about or touch on that I noticed with the season as this Matt Canada spectacular offense that was supposed to be coming through, and I didn't like it at all. You heard me. You've seen the videos and my complaints with the offense and all this motion and everything. Yeah, I get it. You want to run motion to see if they're in zone or man, but do you really have to do it for 10 seconds? I don't know. It wasn't as expected. If you're going to continue to be the offensive coordinator, excuse me, getting hiccups here. I think you're going to need to show something this upcoming season, especially with having a new quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I see
depending if it's a rookie or if it's Mason.
Been busy at that Senior Bowl.
Man.
I've been reading articles about Tomlin talking to him already. He had a 10-minute conversation with Malik Willis's parents while he was down there.
He falls to him. I like that. I'm not going to be mad at it.
They said it was raining today, and Tomlin was the only one out there in the rain while all the other executives was inside. Watching every practice rep for all the quarterbacks. So
and that's why he
gonna get what he's doing.
No, he's just looking for his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some smoke screens, but he's still looking for the quarterback, of course.
Yeah, now you're gonna go up for him. Are you gonna have to go up for him? It's gonna be interesting to see how it all unfolds eventually.
And that all depends on how free agency falls too.
Yep, exactly.
That's gonna be the first domino to fall is free agency. Where does A-Rod go? Does Russell move?
It sounds like Russell ain't going nowhere. Seattle said the only way they're going to trade Russell is if Russell forces them to trade him.
I almost pushed for it last offseason, so who knows? We'll see.
But see how he tiptoed it?
Yeah.
They forcing him nah, you're going to have to go out there and be I want to be traded. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. We back on next year.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, Russell, and that's the other thing. That's the crazy thing about it, too, with Russell Wilson and all this quarterback talk, how he's just kind of been that. I don't want to say the odd man out, but kind of that silent option. You know what I mean? Right. There's talk of A-Rod and Big Ben retiring, to Brady retiring. Who's gonna go where and who needs what and everything. And Russell Wilson's just kind of been and with Big Ben and Brady retiring as well too, talking about a new era of quarterbacks. And, they're talking Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, Herbert, these guys here.
You can't be.
And then they're leaving Russell Wilson at this conversation. This is actually a question I was going to ask you here, too. Giving the now active quarterback, who would you be your top 5?
Top 5 who are active right now? I mean, Mahomes.
Not including Aaron Rodgers.
Not taking Aaron
Rodgers out.
I definitely have to put Mahomes up there.
Number 1?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burrow's up there. He's probably 3 or 4, depending on if he wins a Super Bowl, he's 2 instantly.
Okay.
I'm not sold on Herbert yet. Your boy from Buffalo.
Josh Allen.
Put him up there 2. He's
the other one.
2 right now. Yeah, definitely.
The other one. Yep, Josh Allen.
I like Lamar still too, if he can stay healthy. I've always said I don't know about that style of running the ball that many times, but I'd still put him up there.
Okay, it's 4.
Kyler Murray's like a clone of that.
Yeah.
But it's like, how can you not put Kyler Murray up there when he's healthy?
Okay.
So I think they need to get rid of King, fire that damn coach who chokes every year for the last 8 years, yet is somehow still a head coach while they're firing. Like, I would love to have Flores out here or something like that.
Get
That'd be
Flores in
awesome.
there.
Yeah. And then Deshaun Watson, I know I already said my 5, but if he gets off of his cases, which it sounds like, who knows?
Yeah.
If he gets out of his civil suits, he's going to be straight. If not, I mean, he already done sat out, 2 years now? How long can they fucking suspend a guy? So either get rid of him or let him play.
So point made right there. You gave me 6 top quarterbacks for this coming season. Russ ain't in there.
I'm not saying Russ isn't in there. I'm saying in Russ's current situation, he's not in there.
He's kind of, but the thing is too,
It's like,
the kind of the other point I'm trying to make on it too is with Russell Wilson, he's kind of like that grandfather. He was there with Brady and Ben and Manning
but he ain't
Drew
that old
Brees.
though.
But he ain't that old either. Exactly. I think he's only 29?
Oh, he's older than that.
Oh, maybe he's in his early 30s.
30s, yeah.
33, 30.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe then.
That's what I'd say, somewhere around there.
So he is getting longer in the tooth, yes, but he's not a young buck like some of these other guys.
33.
He's 33. Okay, so that kind of throws that in there for you on that part. But anyway, I would hope Russell Wilson would be a picture stealer, but we won't. Anyway, so the other thing that going back to the Steelers recap here, my last final point here that I want to talk about is Chase Claypool just basically showed how the Steelers love to draft a diva, and he just showed he's another diva in this team. He's got great potential, but I think he's lost a little bit of that flash that he showed his rookie year, and now it's time to put up or shut up.
Yeah, I think that's one of the downfalls of having a head coach like Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Because I think that sometimes these guys think that their egos are stronger than the immature egos of these kids. And when them kids get in the league and get some money in their pocket, that some of them just lose their damn mind and they ain't never had no sense to begin with. And then they just continue down that path. And, celebrity is, and it's football. You get hit in the head a lot. I don't know.
Well, it just seemed like he didn't work on the one thing that you knew teams were going to focus on.
He seems like an unhappy wide receiver who's going to try to force his way out of town before his rookie deal is done. That's what I see out of it.
That's
I think I've seen this happen a few times.
But the thing, I think he's kind of pulling that kind of like the Mike Williams card or Mike Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not deep threat. I can outrun anybody and so on and so forth. Yeah, but you can't run a fucking route.
And honestly,
Claypool, he's the tall receiver. He's good in the red zone. Yeah, but when you throw him a contested ball, 50-50, all you have to do is swipe at his hands and he drops the ball. Like he can't hold on to the goddamn ball.
But that's almost unfair though, because not everybody's an amazing 50-50 ball catcher.
But that's what he was brought in for.
I mean, was he or is Ben just kind of chuck balls up a lot?
What the quarterback does?
Kirk.
Never mind. Hold on, Kirk.
There's a lot that don't chuck it up. Rodgers, there's a lot that don't just chuck it up.
Well, he does it when he needs to.
He puts it on a pinpoint, boom, back shoulder, turn around, it's there in your hands. That's not what Roethlisberger did. He throws rainbows. Yeah, he was out there killing cats. Yeah. So I'm not saying it's all Claypool's fault or all Ben's fault. I just think it's not a great. And then now, I don't know if he's got the mentality to stick around and deal with the rebuild at the quarterback spot.
It's not so much for the rebuild part of it. Well, that part of the rebuild, yes. I just think like
no fun while doing a rebuild. It's easy to be a hard ass when you're winning.
He's trying to make things fun, which I get.
That's the new era, though.
I mean, you definitely do want to try to make things fun, but when it comes to the NFL
and the Steelers way,
there's
a reason all these coaches is getting fired right now for being this way.
Well, for the thing too is why do you think Belichick's done what he's done too? You guys, former players. Belichick is the hardest ass coach to play for because he has that expectation. But you know what? He's got the results.
Yeah.
So that's it's.
We'll see though. He had the results when he had Tom Brady.
He did.
They made the playoffs. Everyone's acting like they did magic. It's like you still got the Jets in Miami in your goddamn division.
Right.
You should make it. It's almost impossible not to make the damn fucking playoffs in that division.
Yeah.
You got Buffalo. Split
a
with
big
them, and you
challenge,
got a wild card spot. Because you got 5-6 wins with the rest of them bums. So I don't know. I always thought that was a thing with New England, where it's like sometimes some people have an easy route to the playoffs, and they get a lot of notoriety for it.
Well, the same thing like with Big Ben that Brady had too. Is like there was a few seasons where they were a running team. They ran the ball. They focused more on the run rather
Well,
than
yeah, because you guys were playing Cleveland and Cincinnati.
yeah.
I mean, that's another division that used to be just hot garbage for a while there, where it was like, well, that's 5 wins. Of course the Steelers are going to make the playoffs. And that's some of the things where it's like, Tomlin, was his record that good? Really? 8-8? Well, you got 4 against Cleveland and Cincy. All right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just the way it falls. I mean, well, I'm hoping that's what's about to happen with the Vikings. The Vikings and the Bears going to be fighting over it because they got Detroit and Green Bay.
Depending on how everything.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's just kind of my take a little bit, just some bits and pieces there of the season. All in all, I mean, it was a great season. It was rough. A lot of emotions there at the end, the last few weeks there with Ben again, just it's a guy I grew up as a teenager all the way up until
Yeah, he's been there forever.
He's been that guy. I mean,
Must be nice.
when really thinking about it and talking about it, when I told you, as soon as he retired, I said I plan on going to Canton for his retirement. You're like, if. I'm like, if. I mean, and the question I kind of wanted to ask, I couldn't know how to word it, but I guess, who was that player that you had or have, your generational player, like Ben? Like I said, Ben was there 18 years out of my 39 that I've had, so a good 2/3 of my life. Ben was my quarterback, and Ben was like that guy.
We've never had that my entire life.
That's what I was always trying to think. Like on either end, I mean, I guess the closest maybe Peterson. Maybe.
No,
He
because
only went with what,
like 10
7 seasons?
Yeah, and then he had that little black eye at the end. You know what I mean?
It's kind of tarnished. At the
Yeah,
end,
so he
too.
kind of self-sabotaged it a little bit.
Carter,
Chris Carter was dope, but
he wasn't an original Viking either. Though.
right, like the closest I would say would be John Randall, but he even left for Seattle for a little bit at the end of his career. So we
I
never
wouldn't count necessarily on that part, but I mean, was he like
when I think of Vikings, I think of John Randall.
okay? So that's
Like,
your that's your
why
guy there. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, but that just goes to show you how long it's been. How long has Randall been out of the league? Even with the
Yeah.
Vikings, what, the 90s, late 90s?
Yeah, I mean,
I think he maybe hit 2000, but that was again with Seattle.
Moss had the potential, but he wanted to get out of here. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough situation because Minnesota always seems to choke some way, and they never have like a full, complete team. They always have like a lot of the pieces, but it's never like we got the all-star point guard, we got the all-star quarterback. It's like we got all the other pieces, but the piece that's really needed.
Or you do bring in a guy, or you
Yeah,
get
but it's
guy,
a
develop
washed-up
him,
version.
and then or I mean just as an example. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but
Oh,
like
the Teddy Bridgewater leg falling
Dalvin
off.
Cook, Teddy Bridgewater, or Jefferson. Or Boss. Another example. You get these guys, you have them, and you look like they could be your everything player for years and years to come. That franchise guy, the face of the franchise, and it seems like something happens where it's like then they just up and leave.
Yeah, I think the only position that really ever does stay for the most part is a quarterback
So
in
right.
the NFL. I mean, I think
And
it's the
first,
design of the system. It's like the quarterback is the alpha role.
So with that, that's what I was just saying. The point I was trying to make in that, and saying that with Big Ben, as a Steelers fan, I'm lucky
Yeah,
to have that. Just like with
Just
the
the
Patriot fans to have Brady, and
I would say you're probably more lucky because the Steelers have had a history of things like that, though. Like you had the bus for a while, you had
bus.
Palomalu for a while, you had Heath Miller for a long ass time, you
Terry-
had
you go back to Terry
Lloyd, you had the
Bradshaw.
line, but
You
you
had
had
the
Kevin
defense in the
Green,
80s and 90s,
yeah, you know what I mean.
right.
So it's like
Heinz Ward.
yeah, so you guys always
You know?
had these because you've had the quarterback in place usually. And it's kind of one of those things like you can't really get to that point unless you have that staple at quarterback. And in a way, that's why I want to move from Kirk Cousins because
He's not that.
he's
guy.
never going to be that guy. Even if we hold on to him for 4 years and make a good run for 2 years, And even if we win a Super Bowl, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I'd much rather have a Super Bowl now, but that's still not gonna make me hold Kirk in the same light as like a Ben Roethlisberger who's been there. Like, we drafted him, we saw him. We could have pictures when he looked like a little baby to pictures to where it's like, damn, this thing got all them grades and
They
stuff.
actually tried to trade him during his allegations and stuff. They did try.
Yeah.
Did you know that he was actually? They had a trade on the table and it was going to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Roethlisberger for Alex Smith
Ooh.
and picks, whatever. But who was the coach? Singletary nixed it. He said he wanted to keep Smith.
Yeah. It's probably was, I don't know. I'm not, I don't like to bash Ben, but I've never been a Ben fan.
I know you've never been a Ben fan. Yeah, I know you have. A lot of people
I
are
thought
really
he was
a
a
lot of
trash
Ben fans.
human being, but it is what it is. We all get drunk and have our nights. So I mean, I ain't saying nothing. I'm
We got
just
a few of our stories that we can share with
Right.
you, but we ain't gonna.
never that. So
We ain't in that spotlight for exposed like that. And it's just like I said,
and he's a kid,
he
they-
was young, he was reckless. I mean, that was something that they knew.
But which franchise quarterback isn't that?
Exactly.
At least he doesn't have his little brother on TikTok annoying the fuck out of everybody.
And anyway,
Yeah.
I don't follow that one. Anyway. So what we're gonna
Jackson
get into
Mahomes. I'm
now.
talking about Mahomes' little brother that everybody hate. They hate that little dude.
I've seen some videos. I've seen the not good videos.
Oh, of course.
Basically, the fans heckling while he's trying to do TikToks
Right.
on the field. So we won't get into that anyway. We're not that cultured. Anyway, so what we're gonna get into now here then is what I expect for the upcoming season. The 5 expectations.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go from 5 to 1.
All right.
Okay, this does kind of go backwards a little bit because it's not going to happen until after the draft. So we still have we have our current GM up until the draft. So we have Colbert then, but after that we're going to need to find a new GM. And what I'm thinking on that part, going forward after that, when we have that GM, to find a GM, and this is an oxymoron, and we did agree on this pre-production and research and things like that. But what I'm saying is, get a GM that's going to keep the Steeler way, but yet somehow adapt to the current times of the current time of the NFL.
Okay.
A la use free agency a little bit more, which again.
Yeah, you got some money too. So
With Ben going on, we do get some money. Again, that's an oxymoron. I know we always develop to the draft, everything there. Free agency for small minor pieces, usually for depth in a lot of cases. But I think this year we really want to stay in win mode. We really have to kind of make it a little exception here on that, and I'll cover more on that there too. So going to number 4, I think in the draft we definitely need to look at rebuilding the secondary. Joe Hayden was good as gone at the beginning of the season. He said maybe not. He pumped the brakes a little bit at the end of the season, but he is long in the tooth. He is old.
yeah.
He is one of the older cornerbacks in the league here now, and there's a lot of speed. So if he's gone, he's gone. With the money he's asking for, I don't think he's going to be an option. So definitely rebuilding the secondary, and I think they addressed that through the draft on day 2.
Okay.
Day 2 or 3,
I know it's a very deep
or second or third round. But
secondary draft.
yes,
But it's a lot of top heavy though. So I was I've heard a lot are going to go in the first round. So it might be one of the ones you have to grab in the first round. Maybe you can't go day 2, and it's going to depend on what the quarterbacks
follows and the quarterbacks fall.
And of course, I'm always assuming 4 quarterbacks is going in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that pushes everybody down the list, which might get you guys a top 10 caliber cornerback
possibly
for that first round pick. So I could see something like that happening. But
yeah, but
we'll see. We'll see.
The last time we got a cornerback in the first round, I don't think he's in the league anymore.
Yeah, but a lot of
That was
times
Artie
you guys are
Burns.
drafting very late in the first round. That's kind of that's kind of the point I was making.
That
is
too,
you
yeah.
might get some high like when the wide receivers were super deep. And
Yeah.
It was like we got Jefferson at like 18, where it's like, how the fuck y'all do that?
They
Well,
still have
Philadelphia's
They
fucking
still have
retarded.
they still have some Pro Bowlers in the day 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Those
Right.
receivers in day
Right.
two. I
So
knew.
that's supposed to be cornerbacks this year.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
So there might be a time to steal a top 10 guy at 18, 20
at
this
20
year.
somewhere there, maybe. Okay. Well, we'll see
see.
how it goes. Next up, with that part of it too, we need to find a defensive coordinator that fits the roster we have. Definitely not someone like kind of what the Cardinals did with Steve Wilkes and going from a 3-4 base to a 4-2-6 base defense. You know what I mean? So, that was definitely something drastic there on that one. So hopefully it doesn't change the system too much. You already know what you work with. You know, the Steelers defense is built for a blitz coverage, approach. They definitely blitz the ball more than anybody in the league. They lead the league in sacks for the past 5 years, or 4 out of the 5 years.
And also, our Tomlin called plays this year, so that's not going nowhere, I would imagine.
So definitely someone that's going to want to go with Tomlin's route too, with his philosophy. So maybe Austin is the guy. I know they did ask to bring in Chris Richard from the Saints and defensive coordinator or defensive coach from the Giants. But maybe Austin, the cornerbacks coach on the Steelers, might be the guy. He was coordinator as well too. He helped second in command basically behind Tomlin and Butler. But I don't know. That's what I'm spitballing here at this point.
Right. That's all we can do.
So that's number 3 on that one. My number 2. We need that quarterback. We need the franchise quarterback. My dream obviously would be Rodgers, Russell Wilson. We touched on that a little bit earlier. Realistically, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think if they are going to try to trade for somebody, you threw this in there earlier too, but I think actually Jimmy G might be the guy.
I feel for you.
But he's better than Mason.
Well, I mean, that's not saying much.
It's not saying much.
If you go that route, you have to draft a quarterback then.
No, of course.
Like
Jimmy G would just be the gap guy. Or if we really go gap guy, you know who I really want them to bring in to be a gap guy? Your boy.
Teddy?
Hey, Teddy.
Man.
Hey, Teddy. If Teddy Bridgewater goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, we would have to create a Teddy Bridgewater award. To be basically highlighting somebody, like it's going to be kind of like he both played on the Vikings and he played on the Steelers. And that's kind of like our hustle guy of the award. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our guy who showed the hustle. Because, Teddy hustles.
Teddy's still a great quarterback. I hope. Talk in your mic real quick.
Yeah, I hope they if there's a gap guy for 1-2 seasons.
Hey, Teddy. Hey.
I think Teddy lives a little bit by the Steeler way.
Teddy would be an awesome fit.
I think he would be.
Yeah, I think he's a great guy. So, I mean, as long as he stays healthy, there's nothing wrong.
I'd love to see him get the chance as a starter, and then if anything, be like that Charlie Batch or Leftwich kind of guy, where established veteran but is okay with being the backup quarterback. Because there was I saw a meme on this or a stat on this. There was one season Charlie Batch and Byron Leftwich were the backup quarterbacks to Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh wow!
Their salary for that season combined was $2.1 million.
Yeah, but that was back in the day.
That was back in the day, of course.
We ain't doing that.
Wishful
no
thinking on that one, right?
$20 million now.
Mason's making, I think he's hitting for not 10. I don't know, but anyway, we don't get into any further. But yes,
Poor Mason.
get that quarterback.
Y'all dog Mason so bad.
Would you have him as your quarterback?
Hell no.
All right then. And I know I'm a Dwayne Haskins fan. I rooted for him here, but I don't think he's the answer.
Gotcha.
I don't think, considering just some of the stories, hearing his work ethic during the season, that's not the Steeler way. And he needs to learn something. Anyway, all right, number 1. This all depends on how it happens in free agency, what happens in all that part there, combine and all that other stuff. But the focus for the offseason definitely needs to be the offensive line. Primary focus.
Always.
So with that there, if it goes free agency, I think they aim for Jason Kelce from the Philadelphia Eagles. Center. Okay. Bring him in as a center, move Green to the guard, his natural position. Let him be more comfortable in that spot there and see how that goes. And with that there too, that will allow us to then maybe try to focus to get Kenny Pickett in the draft. Maybe they do have to move up a little bit in there to do it. But then if we do get Kelsey as a center, kind of make those little bit of moves on the offensive line, those adjustments, I think we might make again with that GM, I think Colbert, they might do it. They've only done it 3 times in his 20-year tenure that they've traded up in the draft. But, the first time he did it, they got Troy. Second time they did it, they got Santonio Holmes. Third time they did it, they got Devin Bush. Bush, I think, would have been a beast prior to his ACL tear.
Mm-hmm.
So
He's still got a chance.
He's got
a year to come back.
Exactly. He's still got. I'm giving him a break.
He was a speed guy. So
if they don't get Kelsey in free agency, maybe go for a quarterback. In that case, from some of the mock draft simulators that I've done on my end, who's been falling to the Steelers a lot has been center Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa. Mm-hmm. Center.
Everybody want him.
So
good luck.
Fingers crossed. Again, that's what he's been following currently as of now. Doesn't happen again with combine, things like that. Things are definitely going to change, but that's what I think we're going to go for there. So that's my number one. Either get Jason Kelsey from Philadelphia or draft Tyler Linderbaum first round and focus on a quarterback later on that one. Maybe get your boy Malik. Maybe he falls in the second round. I doubt it. Not as far as where I think he's going to be too for the Steelers. But maybe that might be maybe that might even be the thing too, is trade up in the second round. Maybe get him in the top 5 of the second round if he's available there instead of in the first round. You don't think he's going to be available in the second round? Malik Willis?
He's not making it past the top 10.
Really?
Yep. I'll call it now. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Stamp it.
I mean, remember when everyone's like, yeah, what's his face is going to be? The only one that ever drops was Lamar. And that's because half the damn coaches thought he was a damn wide receiver, and he still went in the first round.
Mm-hmm. They compared him to Tebow.
Yeah, there's no way. Tua went 9 or 8 or something like that. Watch.
We'll see.
Every year, it's the quarterbacks. They get jacked up the price. They had a pro day. They throw the ball.
Pro days, a combine, right?
Top 5, dude. And Malik's fast as hell. You gonna run out there?
He's that mobile quarterback. Man. How tall is he?
I think he's solid. He's solid size. I think he was
6'3", 6'5".
I think bigger. Yeah.
Excuse me.
5, I want to say. Well, actually, I don't got the internet.
It don't matter. Anyway, so that's what I got here for the Steelers. That's what I think it's going to go. We'll see. I could be very wrong, but I love my team. You know how it goes. You know I can't go a Steelers episode without Cleveland Town being smack naked, so he's not looking at his phone. Oh, he's looking at the league Willis site.
6'1", actually.
Holy, for holy, really?
225.
Well, he might go second round.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That is kind of so. I'm surprised by that, but all right. Well,
that's why he's not a top quarterback. But all right, that's how it goes. Thank you so much for watching the Steelers edition of Here We Skol. We're going to be moving on next to maybe doing the Vikings talk here, and
it's going to be very sad.
Do some draft simulations a little bit more. Kind of we're going to do a little more research on that before we do it there, but definitely take a look out. We're going to be doing some
mocks coming out, probably some weekly mocks or something like that. So
yeah. We're definitely going to touch base during the free agent frenzy, and definitely shortly before the draft, we're probably going to do a mock draft at that point and see how things go. And we'll see what we want and definitely have a better idea of what's going on. It looks like you're going to have the Rams offensive coordinator for your head coach, which I think is a good idea. But let's see who he brings in for the D coordinator.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I'm not.
You know what would be nice? Broden Flores as your D coordinator.
Yeah, it would be, but
because he might not get a head coaching position with what he's thrown out. But we'll talk about that on the Vikings episode. So we'll just let you hang in on that one and watch the Vikings episode. See what we say.
All right, here we go.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Here we go. Here we go. Steelers. Here we go. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl.
Black, the gold, you dealing with the gray, the bold. Don't forget about the D, the O. We doing this at home, on the road. From the coin toss to the kickoff, there's only one thing on my mind, and that's to get the other team a big loss. This game is for the hard, baby, not for the soft. If you weak, then I'ma run it to your side with a toss. Use my